Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in, and you know that I appreciate it, so I'm super grateful. Today's hairstyle is something I haven't tried before, but I'm going to sort of experiment and see how it goes. So my plan is to crochet from here down and then braid the front. I'm basically trying to have like a boho braids type vibe without braiding the whole of my head. So let's see how it goes. As per usual, with parting the center of my head, I'm just going as the spirit leads, and I'll clean it up in a bit. My hair is freshly washed. I have put hair cream on my scalp and I have put leave-in conditioner as well. It's a bit damp, but as I'm going, I'll spray a little bit of water and add some moisturizer as well. This is how you remind me of what I really am. I've actually always loved crochet hairstyles. I've just never loved the fact that they pull people's edges. I just feel like crochet hairstyles are not really protective in my opinion, but for the hairstyles that you don't have to start crocheting from the hairline, it is good. Now that I separated the front, time to start doing the cornrows at the back for my crochet. At this point, my hair is getting a little bit dry, so I'm just gonna spray some water before I start braiding. My goal is to make sure my cornrows are quite soft and not tight at all. Once I'm done with that cornrow, I just check to make sure there's movement in it. The first mistake you can make with doing a crochet hairstyle is to have tight cornrows and then have knots with your crochet on top of it. That's a recipe for disaster. Nobody likes a new protective style that gives us headaches. I'm connecting these two cornrows at the base so that when I tuck them in, they all lay flat under my crochet. Let's do the rest. If you don't know this by now, this is how I part my hair at the back of my head. I do not have eyes there. I use the mirror every step of the way, and I use my fingers as a guide as well. This has always guaranteed me straight lines, and of course, practice makes perfect. The more I do it, the more easier it becomes. Again, I can't stress this enough. Don't forget your cornrows has to be soft and not tight. Please remember this. Alrighty, my plan is to do at the back, I think 8 or 9. Maybe I'll have like a braid in the middle, so like 4 on each side and then the braid in the middle. But let's see how it goes. I don't want to do too much. Alexa, pause. My hair broke it. Let's go get another one. Oh my god, literally shaking my head. Here's another one. How many times has a brush or comb or something just broken on your hair? Because, wow, that was insane. Okay, the show must go on, like they say. I'm actually glad I'm doing this cornrows that's going to be under my crochet hairstyle, because all of my ends are going to be tucked in, my hair is going to be away from the elements, and they would retain their moisture a bit longer just because they're going to be well hidden under this hairstyle. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to have 10 at the back. But yeah, it's all good, it's all good. Alright. I think I need to do 1, 2, 3 on the other side so I can come to the middle, because I want to cross the ones in the middle. I'll show you. Let me do this side and I'll come back. Alrighty, so I've done the 4 on this side, and all I have is 2 left, 1 on this side and 1 on the other side. But I also want to crisscross it, so I'm just gonna cut that in the middle right here. Do the same on the other side. Yep, we're not gonna make it perfect, but yeah, we got that. This is basically how I'm creating the crisscross I mentioned earlier at the back of my head. And then per usual, I'm joining 2 cornrows together. And the last cornrow I'm doing goes over to create the crisscross, and then that's all the cornrows done. Even though you're basically not gonna see these cornrows, I actually love the way they look. And then I proceed to do inverted cornrows with the tails, if that's what you call them, of the cornrows that I have. I go from left to right, and then I tuck them in underneath to the left hand side. I insert them and I just twist the little end that I have and tuck that bit in, and that's it. This technique that I use is my way of avoiding me sewing my ends. Okay, all done at the back, and it's so loose, it's not tight at all, just how I wanted it, not pulling anywhere, and it's relatively flat. Next step I'm going to do is to crochet the back first before I do the front. When I do my crochet, I use a beader instead of a crochet pin because crochet pin pulls my hair, it gives me knots, it hurts, I just don't like it. This has been easier for me to do my crochet, and if you're thinking you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to use a beader to do your crochet. Trust me, it's a game changer. Yeah, I actually bought 3 packs, but I'm not sure if I would use all of the 3 packs. So the hair sort of comes like in individual bits like that ish. I'm just going to attach it exactly how it comes. Let me show you closely from this angle. I insert the pin, then I insert the hair, then pull it to the other side. Then use my fingers, pick one of the hair, insert it into the loop. Repeat that again, insert it into the loop. Just pick up the other piece and pull. So that's creating a knot. And that's how I do it. You want to see it again? Okay. Please watch closely how I do it. This technique has worked so well for me. It's made sure the knot stays in place and my crochet hair doesn't fall out because I don't have too many knots to unravel. If I were to put the crochet hair up in a bun, it makes it look so seamless because you won't see any knots at all on the other side. Because technically, all your knots are in the middle of both pieces of hair. Okay, so the goal now is to just populate and fill up the back of my hair as much as possible without making it too full, but also without having spaces in between. So I'm just going to crochet the whole back and just make sure I cover most of my tracks, but again, I don't want it to be too heavy, so I'm not putting that much hair. The reason why I also crossed over the cornrows I had in the beginning was because I didn't want the crochet hair to fall on both sides of my head and then you see the center part right in the middle of my head. This way, the hair just falls right in the middle, falls to the right, falls to the left, and you don't really see any lines towards the back of your crochet. Different people have different methods that they use for crochet, but with trial and error, I have found that this has been the easiest method for me. We're done with the back, now we move on to the front. This is the hair I'm going to be using for the knotless braids in front, and this is how much hair I'm going to be using for each piece. I proceeded to do a few braids off camera because I was just trying to figure them out myself. I start by braiding my hair first. I insert a small piece of curly hair. I'll show you how I divide the curly pieces later in the video. Then the second piece of hair I add is a straight braiding hair. At this point, I take out one piece of curly hair and put it aside. Then I insert the second piece of straight hair and braid. And then take out the second piece of curly hair and put it aside before adding the third piece of straight hair. And then at this point, I continue to braid all the way down till I've braided the whole knotless braid to the very end. I chose a short braiding hair because I didn't want the braids to end at the same point as the curls. And that's literally it. I hope you're not confused. For example, if I put it up, I can do that. Yeah. So it's like, I just don't want the hair to be too full, you know what I mean? Because too full just means it'll be heavy and I don't want it to be uncomfortable. As you can tell, I had to do a few off camera because this was trying to kick my butt a little bit. As I got to like 3 rows, I realized I was putting too much hair into the braids because I was starting to feel like the individual knotless braids were a bit too heavy. So I had to take a few down and reduce the hair that I was putting in. It was a few setback here and there, but we gotta keep going. You know what they say? Practice makes progress. I guess you can say this is one of the advantages of doing your hair yourself. When you realize that there's something that's a bit off about the hairstyle and then you get to correct it instead of someone else doing it for you and you're like, should I tell them, should I not? Even though you're paying for the service, but you're like, oh, you don't want to offend them. And then when their hair is done, even though you don't fully like it, you'd be like, yeah, I like it, thank you. And then you pay for it and then you get home and cry. How many of you have done that? Don't lie. Before I braid, I just wanted to show you how I've been separating the hair to get this tiny bit from the normal straight bit that I have. Because this is synthetic hair, it tends to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Tangle a bit. So all I do is just loosen the bottom a little bit. Then I get to the middle and pick like the size of the hair I want and then separate. So you see that it does that. It just sort of does that. So what I do is I take Shine and Jam, like that much, and I just go over the whole hair with it. And it just sort of takes it back to like the original curl pattern that it is. That's how I've been creating the smaller ones. So instead of putting the normal size curl, I'll put the small size curl in this one and this one. Let me show you what I mean. So I take the small curl and insert it. Then we take our first straight hair. This is where we take out one curl piece to the other side. Insert the second straight hair. Now take out the second curl piece. Well, put it aside. And take the third straight piece. And there you have it. And we continue to braid all the way. So I have 2 rows left. I usually like to do my center part off center, if that makes sense. And then my widow's peak, I take it to the other side. It's what you guys call it, the little hair here. I'm almost at the finish line and all I have to do is just keep braiding. I get a lot of questions about how I can stay for hours braiding my hair. I usually have a whole jam session while I braid. I listen to music, I eat, I have snacks, I take little breaks. Today while I was braiding my hair, my sister-in-law came over and we were chatting a bit while I was doing my hair. So it just makes the time go by faster and I don't even feel like it's taking too much time. But at this point, I was like, whew, who sent me? It's worth it. It's really worth it. And as much as I love doing this, it is tiring on the arms, but it's an arm workout. I don't have to go to the gym. It's like, I can smell the finish line and I'm so here for this. Oh my god, I'm done. I just realized with the braiding hair that I use, I usually have to dip it in hot water. But because I have hair left out, I'm just gonna pick it out. Just gonna separate them from the rest of the hair. I just have this hot water. I'm gonna dip a tip of a towel carefully because it's hot. Be careful with this part and don't burn yourself. So what I'm just gonna do is just wrap it around like so. It makes it a bit softer without me having to dip it, and then it doesn't get too wet. Try not to burn yourself while you're doing this. Let's mousse it up. I put mousse on the rest of my hair as well, but I just wanted to concentrate on the braids itself. Yeah, just so it's loose and free. I hate when braids are so stiff, like ugh. And this prevents that from happening. Alrighty, so let's mousse the rest of the hair. Gosh. This is why I only do like big hair once in a while. I just feel like it's a lot of hassle to do big hair. mousse the other side. Oh, look at it, so beautiful. Because it's synthetic hair, mousse works a great deal. Just a little bit. And it's actually not even heavy. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Oh my goodness, I love it. I can't get enough of this hair. It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't you literally think that my whole hair is the boho braids? Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'm in love. Even though I did this hairstyle to last me for a short period of time, I have a feeling that I might want to wear this for longer. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to also style it in different ways. Ah, so nice. So cool. I'm definitely gonna do a video to show different ways to style the hairstyles. As usual, if you're at this point in the video, I appreciate it. Thank you for staying all the way. Please like this video, press that button to like it and engage in my videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please don't forget to subscribe too. Help a girl out. And yeah, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.